afternoon. How we doing? And welcome back to the channel. Now then, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You've just seen me and Dad train up some potatoes. Yeah, we had the potatoes come down the other day when we were drilling, when we were planting. We put them in the shed, and yeah, we carried on drilling the oats. We've done the barley, we went on to oats, and yeah, we're all drilled up, 200 and some odd acre, all in the ground and growing. Yeah, so I didn't film too much, just wanted to sort of get on. The weather was, I don't know, it was raining, next minute it was all right. So yeah, just wanted to get on. It was windy as well. It weren't very nice filling up with seed, put it that way. But yeah, so me and Dad are been training the potatoes. It's been a couple of days. We've had 16 nets, which is 20 ton of seed. We've got about 27 acre. So that's what we've been doing. All Sagita again. So we should get done tomorrow. We've had 2 days training up so far. We should get done tomorrow about dinner time. So I just thought I'd hop on here and give you a little bit of a catch up really. So other than drilling, then rolling, and then pre-emergent spraying, Dad's been using the sprayer, been trying to get used to it. And he's got his head around the controls, and obviously it's a lot different from having a mounted sprayer to having a trailed sprayer, and he's got around the controls and how it works really quickly. And yeah, he's well been happy with it. But then we have had some issues with it as well, which I'll talk you through now. So you haven't seen much of the sprayer because whenever Dad wants to go spraying, he's been getting on it, or I've been doing other jobs, and we've sort of been cracking on like that. So since the video where I said we got a new sprayer, you haven't really seen it and haven't really talked about it. We've had a couple of issues with it where we couldn't get it to track, which means this drawbar sort of pivots as you turn. It pivots on these chains here, pivots there, sorry, and these chains determine what way it pivots on it. There's a potentiometer in there, and it pivots this drawbar, so it's got a tracking drawbar. We couldn't get it to do that, and then also the main issue basically is, say we've got a 10 hectare field and we're putting a chemical on at 200 litres per hectare, we need 2,000 litres in the tank. And then by the time you've done the field, you should be empty. And for instance, Dad's filled the spray up 2,000 litres, let's say, and he's come back and he's got 300 or 400 litres left in the tank. Yeah, we weren't putting the right rate on, it weren't putting enough on. It's got its own rate controller, it should figure out, you know, you should input it in the screen in there, and it should put on whatever you plug in. So that's on however fast you're going, it will put out 200 litres a hectare or whatever you put in. So you can be going 12k and it will still be putting that on. It will up the pressure to put on that amount. We've had that's one of the issues as well. Another issue is it won't fold up sometimes. Yeah. So there's us and ahhing. Yeah, it looks a quality sprayer. And then we're like, oh, we shouldn't have sold the Amazon. But, and this is a big but, the other day I was annoyed because Dad was out there pre-aiming. Come back, I was like putting my thumb up to him, and he was like, no, chucking his hands all over the place. And yeah, I thought, right, we've had enough of that. Last thing you want is to go spraying and you can't get on. And yeah, so I went on YouTube. Of all places, who the hell would put agricultural farming videos up on YouTube? I don't know. But yeah, went on YouTube and I watched some Australian with the same sprayer and the same controls that's in the cab. I'll show you that in a minute. That's in the cab, and he went through a bunch of calibrations. So a speed calibration was one, and a flow calibration was another. So you had to mark out 100 meters, zero it, and then drive 100 meters, and the computer should say 100 meters. Now then, we did this the other day, and the computer said 99 meters. Then we did it again, it said 70 meters. Did it again, then it said 40. I did it again, and then it said 42. So there's a sensor on the back here, a wheel sensor. Whether you can see, it's a bit dark. I'm in a potato shed. I'll shine a light. But there is the sensor, just there. And we come round the back here, and you can see that bit's taped up. In there, I'll put my hand in there to feel that wire, and little Mickey Mouse was chewed the wire, and basically there was 3 wires in there, a brown, blue and a black wire, and the blue and the black wire was touching one another. So it was basically shorting itself out. It's never been right since we had it on the farm, so it's not been chewed on this farm. It's probably been chewed on from the previous owner, basically. And then we did the 100 meter test, and it was bang on every time. So we hope we fixed it, but you know, it was just disappointing. Bought the spray, the Amazon sprayer that we had was so good, and then you buy this sprayer, you think you got a good deal, you think you've upgraded, and we've had, you know, quite a few problems with it. But I hope now everything is sorted. But what I was going to say is everything to do with the tracking, to do with the speed, to do with the flow, is to do with that sensor in that rear wheel. So fingers crossed, we hope we've sorted it. So these are the screens here. This is your rate control screen, and all the calibrations are done through this screen. And all these are that's to do with the folding up, that's to do with the sections. But yeah, this is the rate controller screen, and basically, yeah, it was all over the place. You couldn't tell when you was using it, because you'd plumb in, like Dad would plumb in 200 litres a hectare, and it'd just say 200 litres a hectare on there, so you couldn't tell that the rate was going up and down, and obviously it was shorting itself out. But when he got back to the yard and he'd had some chemical still left in there, something was obviously up. And yeah, I think we've sorted it. But other than that, it's a hell of a sprayer. I've been waiting to hear back from people to do my PA2, because I've already got PA1. PA2 will allow me to use a trailed or a boom sprayer, but nobody gets back to you these days, and it just annoys me. But if you know anyone or a company that will that I can contact and do my PA2, please put it down in the comments, because everyone just seems absolutely useless and doesn't get back to you, and then I end up just saying no, bugger you. But yeah, like I say, got my PA1, just need my PA2, and we'll be sorted. Right, so it's 5 o'clock basically. I'm gonna jump in the motor, and we'll head on to a field of spring barley that's up and away, drilled sooner than some of the other fields, and yeah, looking quite good. Now then, we'll do what everyone does, a bit of window farming. Only joking, I'm not that lazy. Anyway, here's some spring barley for you. Ignore that bit there, that wasn't me. It was. I'm very disappointed myself. Look at it. Look at that. Not happy with that. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Dad said I can't drive straight. the headland's all over the place. But yeah, it don't matter, it's drilled, it's in. I mean, there's the odd miss there where I've clicked in my GPS. I'm not happy about this. It was a field that I drilled before I updated it. I had some issues where it would just like freeze out, but you know, I'm very pleased with it. This is drilled at 185 kilograms a hectare, and yeah, I think it's pretty good. We managed to get it rolled, managed to get it sprayed. Well, we managed to get this half of the field rolled. The other half of the field, it was started spitting about, and yeah, it never ended up rolling that half. But it's with them wheels on the back of the drill, it's come up just as even as this half of the field. I might just drive over and see if we can have a look at the beans. The road's closed. It's near farm 2. All the beans are over at farm 2 over there, but the road's closed. But they should be up. All the beans that are drilled for the neighbour are up. They don't look too bad, but I want to see if our beans are coming through. But no, I'm pretty pleased with this, other than that miss at the start and the odd little wobble, and a bit's where the crows have, that bit just there where the crows have just flicked out. I got a little wiggle on with the GPS, but like I say, it's just because I didn't update it. This field was ploughed. We put fertiliser on it, power harrowed, and then gone in with the lempkin. So yeah, pretty pleased. Can you see them? Here they are. Look, they're just starting to open up, pushing through. I did drill them fairly deep and all. Looking pretty good, to be fair. The camera don't do it justice, if I'm honest. But yeah, next couple of days they'll be rocketing through.